Okay. So we're back now for the third and final part of this very nice conversation that Harald Grosskopf is having with us, with me, and really my channel, my YouTube channel, Christian Landet over here. And we were talking about the following. My question was, Harald, the duality of drums and synthesizers, and which one fits your satisfaction better as a performer and composer? That was my last question when we lost contact.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Sure. About the duality of drums and synthesizers, and which one fits your satisfaction better? Cheers.
As I said, I'm an old man. My physical condition is not as it was 10 years ago, or 20 or 30 years ago, where I was really fit like a sportsman. But you know, that's the psychology of drumming is still in my mind, and I think I can adapt that to keyboards and my ability to compose music. So rhythmical structures, to compose rhythmical structures is very important for me, you know, and it's still very vital. But drumming itself doesn't satisfy me as it was in the early days, you know.
All right. So maybe you will spend more time writing music for, you know, synthesizers.
Yeah, and I can drum on keyboards, you know, and can play drums on keyboard, which is okay, you know. The feeling and the conscious of a drummer will be involved in what I compose.
Okay. Now I was going to ask you about something that you possibly connect very well with, which is, as I've observed, checking your webpage and all that, your trips. I suppose that you really like and have enjoyed your trips. You were mentioning India long ago. What have you learned, and why do you recommend traveling? What do you gain? In what way has your mind changed, musically speaking, as well?
Oh, I mean, traveling connects you to other cultures and connects you to people, to normal people, and the visions, you know, the landscapes, and I always experience that my fears and prejudices I have when I go to another country will be completely wiped away, you know, when you meet people and you experience that they have the same, they laugh about the same, almost about the same things. They have the same fears, the same feelings, you know, and this is a great experience. Wherever I go, you know, I met nice people, and this is very inspiring. I really like traveling. It's a great experience, you know, to be on the move, you know, in trains and airplanes and walking and stuff. That is this dynamic. I really like that.
Have you been to Latin America?
I was been in Brazil. I was been in a week in Sao Paulo. And I was really scared because Michel Huygens, you know, Michael.
Yes, of course.
He said, Harold, don't go. This is the most dangerous place in the world. And he said, I have been there, and we've been followed, and guns were pointed to our head. And so I took my oldest watch, my bad jean dresses, you know, so and it was not necessary, you know. I mean, okay, I mean, it's as a European living on the countryside here in Germany, it's quite peaceful, you know. There definitely must be violence in big cities in South America, Mexico, but I didn't make any bad experience, you know. They said don't go out in the night, you know, and you know, in Berlin, I never had problems 30 years ago to walk through Berlin at any times in the night. There was no danger at all. And so my fears didn't come to reality in Sao Paulo. I haven't seen other countries. I'd love to see Chile. It should be supposed to be very, very nice. And I mean, I think it's very much influenced by Europeans too.
It is, yeah, especially the architecture in the downtown. There are very, very old places, but everything has changed here. It's a long story. It's not from now. Chile is changing a lot, and in some good ways, but also in some not so very nice ways. And there's lots of uncertainty these days because we're having a president election on November the 21st. So we're just seeing where the ship is going now too. You know, that's now. I was going to ask you about Michael Huygen. You just mentioned him. Have you ever recorded with him? Michael Huygen? Michael Huygen?
No, never. The only thing we did was with Ashra. Hang on, I have to do something.
All right.
Because I hear you via my loudspeaker of my MacBook, and the speakers are crushed, so that it sounds very, very bad. I have to put on my and I have to connect them. Hang on, takes a minute.
1, 2, 3.
Come on, zack. Yo. So, back to Zoom. Where is it? Oh God.
Now we can go on. Haha. Go ahead, mister. You were talking about drumming?
Yeah, drumming. Well, I think I don't know what you recall, but I said I'm an old man and my physical abilities are
changing,
not like like it was in the like 20 or 30 years ago, and my ability of being a drummer is in my consciousness, and I think I can adapt that to my way of composing. Drumming and rhythm is a very important part of my way of composing.
And about we were talking about the trips. You said that you gain culture, you learn about culture, you meet normal people.
Oh yeah, in India, yeah, that was nice. I was in South America, I was in China, and I have the impression that people are. Most people share the same feeling, the same fears, and the same ideas and stuff. There are little cultural differences, and I find that very different. That people are different. This is for me. This is very interesting to discover that and to find out how people in South America and in England, how they are thinking. Their humor is a little bit different, but basically we are all the same,
Yeah. Now, what is an unaccomplished goal in your music career, Harald? If there are any things that you would like to do and you still haven't been able to, what would you say?
Performing much more than I did during the last 20 years, and as long as my physical condition allowed to do that. So this is my greatest wish, to stay healthy and being able to travel a lot and see the world. I'm open.
Yeah.
I hope I can go. I had a connection to somebody who was doing organizing tours to South America, and Chile was on that here, but unfortunately it didn't work.
Okay.
Maybe you have connections.
It will someday. It will. Let me tell you. I hope that you and Manuel should visit us someday. I've been telling that to Manuel for ages. Yeah. Now, one of your biggest satisfactions, Harald, and prides so far, what makes you really happy when you look in retrospective?
Well, the fortune to meet, for example, Klaus Schulze, who opened my mind for other music, for different music, and his personality was very inspiring, because he had a very strong mind about himself. Even he wasn't a trained musician. He was a rebel too.
Mhm.
and that was very inspiring to and it encouraged me to walk on my own way.
Uh-huh. Now, is there a record or project or an event that you think you'd rather not be part of, like that you regret today?
Oh, there are some. There are some. For
Uh-huh.
example, I remember this. The second performance with Klaus was not very nice.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
And
I
oh,
think
okay, you dropped.
I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
no, the thing I was showing a picture, so I know now that I
Yeah.
can't share pictures. Okay, so go ahead, please.
That we had a terrible sound, and that was very unsatisfying, you know, on stage, because it was in those times it was very difficult to perform with a drum kit, because with a drum kit you need microphone, you need somebody who knows what he is doing, and just performing one or two times is not enough to get a routine into microphoning with an engineer, and that was a problem. And I think that was Klaus. Klaus didn't like that too. It was too complicated for him to adapt himself with a drum kit and the complicated microphoning of drums. That needs specialists. And later with Ashra, I made gigs with an electronic drum kit, which is much more easier, because you can program the sound it needs for every song. That's what I did, and I just press a button, and I had a different drum sound. That was very comfortable, and you can turn the volume down of drum kits. You can adapt that much better than a real drum kit, which is really loud on stage. And but with the electronics, you can still be very physical with what it need for drums. By the same time, you can put the volume down. I really like that.
All right. Now, I just have to say, Harald, that it's been a really nice time talking to you. I'm really thankful, grateful, and I want to insist on my respect and admiration for all the music you've given us through the years. As a solo musician in the bands, it's been a real incredible story so far that still has, there are many things that could happen from now on, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have some years, I hope, and I'm optimistic, and I'm looking forward to do great things, you know.
And how do you do to keep in good mental shape? Because we've been all like suffering from this pandemic fear and environment. What do you usually do on a day? You have hobbies? You ride your bike?
Yeah, last year I kind of restored. We have a house here, and it needed some restoration, and so I rebuilt it with the help of professionals, a bathroom and a balcony and all kinds of stuff. The time flew very fast. So,
Yes.
and I wasn't as soon as I was vaccinated, because I'm in that endangered age to get a heavy course of the pandemic of the COVID. And so after I was vaccinated, I'm not feared anymore, you know. So, and I'm careful. I'm wearing mask when I go outside and go shopping, and but I think now I hope everything will be back to normal soon. Then, but I have so much to do. Time flies, you know. I'm reading books. I'm watching films. I'm doing my music.
What
I
films
have
do you
two
like?
kids.
What film? So you have two kids. How old are your kids?
My kids are twins, boy and girl, you know. They are 17 and a half.
No, not musicians yet? No.
I'm a very old father. Have you kids?
No, I haven't got any kids, but I was going to ask you if they play music with you. They like music, playing or listening?
No, they're not interested in in music.
Okay.
apart from what what a teenager is listening to, you know, which is sometimes strange. But my son was when my son was 10 or 11, he listened to synthesist, you know, without.
Yeah.
I never pushed him to listen to my music, and he liked it, you know.
Okay.
But he's very much he's a computer nerd. He knows so much more about this stuff than I do. He knows so much anyway about everything. They say they check the computer for, I don't know, sometimes 6-8 hours per day,
Mhm.
and it's not only gaming. They score a lot of knowledge out of the internet, which it's amazing. When I talk to him, I'm surprised and amazed how much knowledge he received out of the internet. You know,
Uh-huh. And you mentioned film. You have a favorite film?
film.
Some films? Favorite films? Directors?
Yeah, I like Netflix, you know, and I like all kinds of films, you know, and I don't have a special. It should be a good written. I mean, Tarantino films are fantastic. I really like them. You know, mainstream. Sometimes it's fine, but most of the times it's boring. It's too much CGI. You know, this computer animated, and then it's so hyper realistic that it starts boring. You know, when the story is fine, and then you use CGI, fantastic. But when CGI and the effects and the action effects are too much, then I don't like it. You know.
Well, nice to know about those details. Thanks again, Harald. It was a crazy connection. We had some inconvenience here and there, but we finally did it, and that's good. Thanks again for the time.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, you know what? I would like to ask you, I'm going to press the stop recording. I'd like to ask you for something else, but then thanks again, and hope to meet again at any point, anytime.
At any time.
Play on. And
it was a pleasure. Muchas
Me too.
gracias. Hola, adios, buen día.
Right. Yeah.